There is some major construction going on right now in my humble abode, so we're just gonna either ignore it or we're just gonna have to do a lot of editing. So in my previous video, the 2016 resolutions and advice, I mentioned how I get severe anxiety and about certain things. I got some questions about it, and I thought that I should do kind of like a video about anxiety. And I previously made a video on how to like something with anxiety and like how like advice for anxiety with people who have it. I think that that was like almost a year ago or something, probably over a year ago. I think that I've gone through a lot more now over the year. A lot has happened, and you know, we're just gonna buckle up and get ready to really just dive into the deep zone because it's about to happen. I have had anxiety since I was like 8-ish, so I've had it for a really long time now because I'm 16 now, and I would say that I am a pretty reliable source on advice for people with anxiety. So a little bit of background. I have severe anxiety about various different things. I have anxiety about throw up, people throwing up, me throwing up. I have a fear about being in cars for a long period of time. I have a fear of the dark, which sounds childish, but it's like it's like driving in the dark. Not I can sleep with no lights on, but when I'm driving in the dark, that's whenever I get like freaked out, especially in a long period of time. So it all correlates with each other. I also get anxiety about getting anxiety. So my everyday tasks kind of are hard because my anxiety is so high that I worry about like throwing up. Like I correlate everything with, oh, I'm gonna throw up like on my way to school and stupid stuff. So I started going to a therapist when my parents got divorced whenever I was like 7, and up until now I've had like 4 different therapists. There was like a point in time wherever I didn't go to a therapist. Anywho, I kind of discovered that I had anxiety around like 6th or 7th grade, and I always thought I had stomach problems, but it was just me getting anxiety, and I never knew what anxiety was until me who like discovered. I was like, wait, because I was probably watching like a YouTube video or something, and I'm pretty sure this girl was talking about her symptoms of anxiety and all this stuff, and I was like, that's what I have. So my whole entire family has it. My dad has it, my mom has it, my sister has it, my grandma has it, my aunt has it, everyone has it in my family. So it's kind of like genetic. That's why I pretty much have it. And I've had it since I was like 8, and I recently got a new therapist, and before that my therapist put me on Zoloft. So I do take medicine for my anxiety, and I take Zoloft. I started out at like 25, which is like the lowest you can go, I'm pretty sure. And with Zoloft, it basically treats anxiety and depression, and I'm pretty sure it treats OCD, and the lower the dosage, the more it's targeted at depression, and the higher it treats anxiety. So I had anxiety and depression, and so I got Zoloft, and it did help for the majority part of it. And then over the summer I kind of like stopped taking it without telling my doctor. Don't do that, don't ever do that. because you're supposed to like eat your way off of it. And by the summertime, I was on like 50 or maybe like 100 or 75 or something between there, and I went to a new therapist the beginning of the school year. So my therapist was like, I think we need you to get a higher dosage because my anxiety was like so bad. I forgot to mention that I'm agoraphobic. If you don't know what that is, it's basically a self-diagnostic phobia of being afraid to leave your house. Yeah. Anxiety might be a thing where you can't see it, but for people who have anxiety, you know how difficult it can be sometimes to do like daily tasks in your life, and how much it can prevent you from hanging out with your friends, going to parties, just going out. I've missed out on so many things. I've missed out on going to Universal with my family because I was too afraid. I was getting too much anxiety about the ride there, so I have missed out on hanging out with my friends so many times. I've missed out with hanging out with my boyfriend sometimes in the beginning stages. He typically just comes over my house because I get anxiety about going to his house or whatever because I don't like to leave my house. I do leave my house, but I don't go too far. I basically feel safest at my house, and there's nothing I can do about it, so I'm trying to work on it. Now I'm currently in the stage of making my anxiety medicine. I recently, last month, got put on 150 milligrams of Zoloft. Didn't really do much, so she took me up to 175 now. Well, they put me on 125, and then the psychiatrist was like, yo, if that's not working, we're gonna bump you up to 150 in 10 days. So I did that because 125 wasn't really doing much, and she was like, see me in a month, and I saw her a couple days ago, and she said, how was the 150 working? And I said, it helped a little bit, but she like did some tests, and it didn't really do much. So now I am taking 175, and in 10 days I'm going up to 200 milligrams of Zoloft, and that's the highest that you can go. That just kind of sums up basically of how bad my anxiety is, because I have to take the highest dosage, and it sucks. So the tips that I have for people who have anxiety and depression: if you don't already have help, get help, and if you're not comfortable talking to your parents about it, I would suggest getting a really close friend or sibling and talking about it, and then you'll feel more comfortable talking about it because you've already talked about it with people, and talk about it with them, and then whenever you feel you're ready, talk to your parents about it, because getting a therapist or something is the best thing. It does not go away on its own. I'm telling you that right now. Anxiety and depression does not go anywhere, and don't try and solve it with alcohol and drugs, and don't depend on other people for trying to make you happier, because people are so not constant. Everyone has different emotions, so if you try and rely on people to make you happy, that person is not always going to be happy, and that person might let you down, and it's not a reliable source. It's kind of like trying to do a whole research paper dedicated to Wikipedia. That's basically how I would describe trying to rely your whole entire happiness on someone else. I would suggest what I did. My therapist first taught me like exposure therapy, which is basically I was scared of throwing up, so they suggested like listening to someone throw up, watching someone throw up. That can work for some people. It didn't work for me. I recommend trying many other kind of like breathing exercises and stuff like that before you go to medication, just because some medications don't work with people and they're like better off just trying like breathing exercises and stuff like that and talking through with it. But if that doesn't work, then you could talk to your therapist or doctor or whatever about going on medication. Zoloft is not the only anxiety and depression medication. There are so many, there's so many. It's going to be hell. It is, and I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it at all. It is going to be hell, and it's going to be so much hard work, and you're going to want to give up, and you're probably gonna relapse, and you're gonna think that you're okay because in medicine or whatever, exposure therapy or whatever is working, and you're gonna stop taking your medicine or whatever. And don't do that, because you're gonna think that it's fine, and then just like that, it's just gonna come back. And a little disclosure, mental illnesses are a real thing. There are scans of a normal brain and a mentally sick person. There is a clear difference. So just because my anxiety does not look like a broken bone or a black eye does not mean that it's not real. I've had many people tell me that anxiety is a joke and it's not real, it's all in your head. Yeah, it is in my head, but it's an illness. So, it's a real thing. Get that in your mind for the people who might be watching who don't really believe in mental illnesses. I just want you guys to know that for those people who are suffering with any kind of mental illness, I'm 100% able to talk to you about it. I've had quite the experience with it, and just basically all you can think of. You can talk to me. I'm free. You can message me on Twitter or Instagram, or you can message me on YouTube. I'm pretty sure you can message people on YouTube. Dog wants in. So yeah, I just want to let you guys know that it's good to talk to people about these things, because it's not gonna go away on its own. So I would just highly suggest talking to someone, whether it's me or your guardian or parent or friend or sibling or even dog. Dogs listen too. It gets better. The harder you work, the faster it gets better. So just learn from me and take your medicine and do your therapy or whatever you're doing. Just do it. I love you guys. I really, really do. And I hope that one day, if you have anxiety or a mental illness, that it gets so much better for you. I really, really do. Whether that be any kind of illness. I hope you guys got something from this and enjoyed it, or maybe you didn't and this didn't relate to you at all, but I hope you enjoyed it at least, and make sure to subscribe and for more positive videos. I promise I make more videos that are happier than this. I love you guys, and I will see you guys the next time I see you. Thank you for watching. Bye!